Okay, this really should be, we have all these clips on YouTube, 10 million views, 8 million views, 6 million views. This should really be one of our most viewed clips ever on YouTube. I'm not saying it will be, but it should be. We were on the ground in Texas, Austin, Texas this weekend for the Trump event. Our correspondent, Luke Beasley, was there. Luke, this is the second time Luke has done stuff on the ground for us. He's doing an incredible job. You can find his YouTube channel at davidpakman.com/Luke. That's Luke. Okay. We're going to go through some of these clips of Luke talking to people. And I mean, just prepare yourselves. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. This combination of ignorance, delusion, paranoia, conspiracy thinking. Let's just jump right in.
Explain for the audience what that sign is all about.
Well, that sign is about open border. Yeah, every country protect the country, the people by the border. Every country have a border. Why Biden open?
So the sign says, Biden just dropped the bomb on us, the American people. What can we do now? Wait until 2024. What about if we lose again? So can we do something? Yes, we can. The real question is, can you pay the price? There's some tips. Then you should be, do I? No, ever give a job to this illegal people and not ever buy something from them. Okay. Anyway, by the way, it's so funny because corporations keep hiring undocumented immigrants. The message really shouldn't be to Joe Biden. It should be to the corporations. And we've had a justice system in the U.S. for a long time, Republican or Democrat alike, that they don't really go after the companies hiring the undocumented immigrants. Anyway, continue.
Border.
But you understand that at the border, thousands upon thousands of people are getting detained every single day, and thousands of people are being deported. So we're enforcing the border, just maybe not as much as you would like.
Well, I don't think 1,000 people is deported. I think nobody's deported right now.
So this is an individual who has been convinced that all deportations have stopped under Joe Biden. Obviously, that's not true, but he believes it.
Yes, thousands of people are being deported.
Before, but no.
Under Joe Biden.
No, we Biden.
Nuh-uh. So how do you argue with that? Nuh-uh. There's nobody being deported now. Well, if you believed that, I could understand being confused. But of course, deportations have obviously continued under Joe Biden. Next clip. This is about the election being stolen and people's feelings about it.
Runs in 2024 and he loses. Do you think it'll also be stolen again?
It could be possibly, but there's no way to say that it will be or won't be.
And how will you tell if it is or isn't? Like, do you think he could just lose fair and square?
Beautiful.
Yeah, he could, very possibly. But, I mean, we feel this last election was rigged and that there are a lot of unknown voters that have passed. And how do you vote if you're dead?
So the dead voters conspiracy, widely debunked.
You're saying people used the names of dead voters?
Yes.
To vote? Even though that hasn't been shown out in any of the court cases or anything?
Has shown, but...
Research from who?
I'm not exactly sure.
Research he's not sure about shows dead people voted.
I mean, I'd have to ask the person who told me this, and he is not with me.
See, that's actually a very interesting thing. I'd have to ask the person who told me this about the research. Well, you should have asked that right away. In other words, this guy accepted it. Now that Luke is saying, well, what's your evidence for dead people voting? He goes, I'd have to ask the person who told me. Well, that's what you should do right away. That's hopefully an instructive moment. Here's another woman who feels that the election was stolen from Donald Trump.
And then 2020, you think it was stolen?
Yeah.
From Trump?
For sure.
And what makes you believe that?
I believe it. When I registered to vote here in Austin, the register in Austin, Texas, man, when I was changing states, and she was laughing at me like a week and a half before the election, going, ha ha, this election's already been decided. I was in the car, I had a witness, I'm a caregiver, I was driving this like...
Do you think
she had a witness?
She just meant since Biden was so ahead in the polls?
No, he was not ahead of the polls, and no, definitely.
No, I mean like polling.
She was cynical, and no.
Because I bet money with somebody that Biden would win, but it wasn't because I had inside information.
Just beautifully done there by Luke.
I don't have inside information. It's just a feeling.
Just a feeling?
And just with the comment, I mean, just walk around.
The comments she heard while walking around Austin and her feeling proves to her that there was a national conspiracy to steal the election from Trump. And by the way, she voted in Texas where Trump won. So why would they be talking in Texas where Trump won? I mean, just none of it makes sense.
Walk around the people.
Walk around.
Yeah. All right. So as you can tell, this is extraordinarily disturbing. This may be the most interesting clip of all. Luke speaks to a couple. Now, the guy is wearing an American flag vest, a backwards American flag T-shirt, and then the woman with the guy is wearing a Save, what does it say? I guess it's a Save America dress. You'll notice that when they realize that the interview's not going super well, she whispers to the guy that maybe they should end this, and she walks away. This is really good work on the ground. Check this out.
All right, I'm here with the best looking people at this event. What are you guys hoping to see here at the speech?
We're looking for anything that has to do with election fraud. We came to hear Dinesh and the new movie 2000 Mules, how to avoid this going forward.
Imagine being like, I want to figure out how to avoid fraud going forward. I'm going to go to an event and listen to Dinesh D'Souza.
My recommendation to your whole audience is everybody needs to take off some time in November.
Yeah.
Let's get to every ballot location with video and start videotaping this so it doesn't happen again.
Okay, what about you?
And I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where obviously they had 1,100 mules.
There were no mules. I mean, listen, I learned there were zebras spotted at some polling places and an occasional donkey, but there have been no mules whatsoever.
I just wanted to ask Dinesh, what is it that we could do differently for the next election?
Can you imagine?
And obviously, it's really nice to be around a lot of other patriots.
So here's my question on that. When I hear people talk about this, I want to give it the time of day, but then you look at every official medium that you would make, prove that, the courts, all those things.
Well,
and it's not,
all
and it's
corrupt.
not like there's not even people that Trump appointed.
So this is great. The woman says the courts are corrupt. And Luke points out a lot of those courts are run by Trump appointed judges. The woman has no answer. She just turns and looks at the guy. She just white flagged and just looks at the guy.
It's a good question. So the thing is, we all know that it happens. So
I don't know that, but
What's that?
I don't know that.
Well,
I need evidence to believe something like that.
You already know.
I know. So listen, how about this? Social media only seems to censor liberals because they never talk how great Biden is.
They only seem to censor liberals. I assume he means conservatives. Like this guy, it's just nothing's making sense.
81 million people. I've yet to see anything pro-Biden. How about you?
I think Biden's done good stuff. There's some pro-Biden stuff.
Like what?
American Rescue Plan, getting out of Afghanistan, managing
Inflation at
the
its
Russia-Ukraine
40-year
war.
high, taxes at its 40-year high.
Understand, taxes at a 40-year high. Biden hasn't done tax reform. That's super interesting. Biden hasn't done stuff on taxes.
Giving baby formula to immigrants coming over the border, except our own.
But
babies in
on the
country.
baby formula thing, you do understand that that's like
Giving millions and
0.001% of
millions.
baby formula.
Are you affected by the baby formula?
I'm not. But if they
What
don't get
about
it, their
our
babies
Americans
starve.
are?
If Americans here, they can find other ways to get it. But they're stuck,
Hold on.
detained.
What about the Americans that are affected?
And we need to help them as well, and that's what we're trying. I'm sure they're trying to do.
An immigrant?
Of course not. They're all
I don't like
important.
the fact that our tax money goes to the Ukraine where it gets laundered back to these corrupt politicians.
The tax money goes to the Ukraine where it gets laundered back. What?
And the media journals that are all liberal, much like yourself, you keep on spinning this, there's no escaping. He has done nothing right.
Man, this is real. Much like yourself, kid. He talked to a guy about the death penalty. The guy said the women should be killed. Women should be killed if they have an abortion. Listen, he's for the death penalty. He believes abortion's murder. You do the math.
So, big news, Roe v. Wade. Looks like it's going to be overturned.
Yeah.
What was your reaction to that?
So, no, that's great. It was horrible ruling in the first place, and all they've done is muddy it up since then. So I think it's about time.
Okay. And then, in your ideal country, what would the rules/laws be on people getting abortions?
Everybody has the right to life. Life starts at conception. It's science. This is a human life. Okay? We should protect life, always.
And the punishment if you got an abortion?
What do you think? When you take a life, an innocent life, should be murder.
It should be murder. You didn't say you should be murdered? Like, should the person get death penalty? Yes? You think people should get the death penalty for having an abortion?
You know what happens when, say, for instance, a guy kicks a woman in the stomach? He gets a murder sentence in many states for the death of that child.
Kill the women who have abortions. Quite a scene. And then lastly, here is this is an interesting thing. There's lots of folks who are just obsessed with communism and socialism, but when you ask them any follow-up questions, they don't know what the hell is going on. Here's a woman who's very, very angry about communism.
At the Trump event, what are you hoping to see? Besides Trump, just like what do you want to hear?
Oh, because I came from a communist country, and Trump is the one who fight for America. And
Who's communist in our country? Who's pushing communism?
I came from Vietnam. You know, Vietnam is a communist country now, and that's why we left Vietnam. We left Vietnam by boat, and we don't like communists.
I understand not liking communism. What's the connection to liking Trump?
Because Trump is he's a doer. He loves everyone, and he wants to save America from the liberals going to the left, and it's not good. So it's very bad. So that's why I'm here today.
Crystal clear explanation.
To support him because he's fighting for it.
So what's something that the left is doing that's super far left?
Because they support China, and we don't like China. China is a communist country, communist people, and.
By the way, increasingly China is not really a communist country. I mean, they're run by the party, but it's increasingly a capitalist. China's complicated, but it certainly has no connection to reality in terms of what this woman is saying.
They spread they want to conquer. They want to to make everybody under them.
They want to make everybody under them, and the U.S. supports them.
So because you never been to a communist country?
I've been to China.
You've been to China, and what do you see in China? What did you see? What do you see? Can you tell me?
I'm curious. I saw a lot of things, but I'm curious how this relates to the Democratic Party.
Oh, man.
Oh, because Democrat...
Because I think both the Republican and Democratic Party are pretty much not communist.
No, I don't think so.
No, she doesn't agree with that. Wow. So that's what's going on in America. That's what's going. And so when we continue talking about how do we deprogram, how do we get through, that's the full scope of what we're up against. Excellent work by Luke Beasley. You can find his YouTube channel at davidpakman.com/Luke and let us know if you want to see Luke at more of these events. Wow. I'm going to need to take a break just to recover from so many high level ideas. We'll be right back. There's been a ton of fear-mongering lately by traditional corporate media about the economic and financial landscape. And if you're looking for financial news that's more calm and collected, without the hype, without the clickbait, check out our sponsor, The Daily Upside. It's a free business and investing newsletter. It goes out to 350,000 people, including myself. And it was founded by a team of financial professionals with the whole goal of just providing clarity and context for the events that are happening in the world of business, economics, and finance. Every weekday, they deliver a morning brief followed by more detailed stories about what's shaping the economics and business world. I read the Daily Upside all the time because it's informative, it's witty, and it's not dumbed down. I just read a great article about the real impact of the Russian sanctions in Russia. And if you're looking for a daily jumpstart on the news that's affecting economics and the markets, the Daily Upside is the perfect solution. It's totally free to sign up using the link below.